The National Weather Service did confirm a tornado touchdown here in Aiken. It's a lot of mud and a lot of debris, just like this pile you see right here behind me, that are covering this lower level. But no matter how old you are, when out on the gun range, there is one main rule every shooter needs to remember. The tractor trailer carrying paper actually sustained the most damage and exploded on the highway. This area right here beside me was once roped off with caution tape, and as you can see now, completely clear. Family and friends are actually gathered right now to honor Zy Keith's memory. Let me step out of the way so you can hear what they have to say.
Zy, we love you, we miss you, and we're always thinking of you.
She wants to know why there is a $200 non-refundable application fee when applicants are already paying for the background check. I wanted to find out what makes these potential predators so appealing to kids and what parents need to do to help make sure this doesn't happen to their child. Now, a hat like this one will cost you about $20 at the pro shop, but patrons here at the Masters say you need to be flexible when shopping because the items you want may not be in stock later on in the week.
I see it as he's our hero, and he's the one who saved my little girl.
Amanda Williams and her 2-year-old daughter Tegan were asleep Sunday night when Amanda woke up to an odd noise and a scary sight.
I heard this loud banging on the side of the house and this man yelling, "Don't go out the front door, don't go out the front door." I opened my bedroom door and the whole front of our house is lit up bright orange from the flames.
A fire caused by an electrical spark destroyed the home and virtually everything in it. But Amanda says the night of the fire was a blur.
It comes back in flashes, and I don't sleep well at night, and I mean, I have her in bed with me because I can't have her more than 5 feet away before I have a panic attack or something like that.
A man was driving by the house when he saw the fire and jumped out of his car to help, something Amanda says restores her faith in humanity.
He took the risk of running into our yard past our flaming porch to get us out of the house.
Amanda has been back to the house to look at the damage, but took me on a walkthrough so I could see firsthand just how bad it was. But she says the hardest room to see is her daughter's.
It still gives me chills looking at her room. I have a hard time going in her room. The rest of the house doesn't bother me as much, but it's her room that makes me want to vomit. Because I mean, it was so close. I was so close to losing her.
And for Amanda, this experience has changed her outlook on life.
I was somewhat of a negative person before this, and now I'm just like, I look at the world as every day is special.
You know, we talk to children all the time, warning them about the dangers of talking to strangers, but how often do children practice what they're being taught?
Well, we put this to the test, and the results, they may surprise you. Fox 54's Katy Solt joins us now. Katy, you actually coordinated several scenarios over the last few days to try and test the stranger danger lesson. What can you tell us?
Dawn and Russ, with parents' permission, we had WFXG employees approach kids with their dogs to try and convince them to leave the park with them. All the parents I spoke with say they've talked with their kids about avoiding strangers, but when it comes to a real-world experience, they were scared the lessons they taught their children may not be enough to keep them safe.
You want to go see some puppies?
It's every parent's worst fear. Their child walks off with a stranger and disappears.
Can you take a look at them? They're right around over there.
With a false promise like going to see more puppies, some children wandered off with the stranger.
She was all in. She didn't look back. She didn't look at us. She was just gone.
I was shocked.
But others remembered the warnings their parents gave them about stranger danger and what can happen if they leave with someone they don't know.
They're right around here if you want to come see them. Come see the little puppies.
Maybe in a minute. He came up and I was worried at first because a lot of people come up with their dogs and they're like, hey, you want to pet them? And then they really look like nice people, and it's just, it scares you to think that really stuff like that happens.
Long fur. Okay.
I just really felt that she was gonna, you know, go with the person who had the dog.
Even though this guy had an adorable puppy, I was thinking, no, I should just wait for mommy.
So with some kids running off with the puppy and others choosing to wait for their parents, I wanted to find out what makes these potential predators so appealing to kids and what parents need to do to help make sure this doesn't happen to their child.
The most dangerous predators are going to be those that are about as charismatic and nice as you're going to run into.
Which means they don't seem like a threat to anyone, especially not children.
They practice at their craft. This isn't the first time they have probably done it. They practiced numerous times, and their whole MO is to be charismatic and nice.
And Chief Deputy Clayton says parents need to make sure their kids know the difference between a good stranger and a bad stranger.
We have good strangers, which are police officers, firemen, teachers, but they need to know the reality of that there are some people out there that are not nice guys and they're not their friends.
Clayton says children also need to be taught how to alert people if they're being approached by a stranger by yelling things like, "This person is not my mom or dad," and "I don't know you."
I think as a parent, what we have to tell them is, listen, if you're in a situation and it doesn't feel right, it's probably not.
Clayton says parents need to continuously have the stranger danger talk with their children. And he even suggests running through different scenarios of how a stranger could approach your child to make sure the concept sticks. But what did the kids learn from this test?
Even though somebody may look like a good person, you should still never go with them because they can be bad and they can just take you away from your parents.
People aren't always what they seem. They could look nice and have a nice dog in this case, but it's really not, it's not all fun and games.
I was at Wildwood Park back in August when 14-year-old Thomas J. was hit by a jet ski. I spoke exclusively with Thomas and his mom about his recovery today and why this Thanksgiving means more to them than ever before.
He just went to the lake to ride jet skis. And, it was just, nobody thinks about that. Nobody thinks about stuff like that.
On August 16th, 14-year-old Thomas J. went to Wildwood Park for a birthday party when he was thrown off a jet ski and hit by another jet ski that had been following closely behind. Thomas was airlifted to the hospital, and the news wasn't good.
The doctor said he wasn't going to make it. It was 3 weeks he was in a coma, going on 4.
Thomas underwent brain surgery and facial reconstruction surgery, and now he's taking steps to become a normal teen again.
He had to learn how to walk and talk and eat, all normal functions that everyone takes for granted. He has a hard time with his motor functions. Like he knows what he wants to do, but actually executing that, it's difficult for him.
Thomas is back in Augusta for the holidays and to see his new baby niece, and he couldn't be happier. How do you feel being home? How does it feel to be back in Augusta? Yeah.
It rocks.
Thomas's rehab journey hasn't been easy, but his mom says that won't stop him from making a full recovery.
And the doctor said he would not make it as far as he has. I truly believe with all my heart that he's going to be 100%. I just believe that. I don't think he's going to quit until he does.
When I asked Thomas what he had to say about his journey, his message was simple.
Always win.
Yeah. Always win. Always be positive.
Yes, ma'am.